Welcome to another edition of Very Vogue with me, Val Kleinhans, where we chat all the things fashion, style, pop culture, what's trending on social media, a bunch of stuff. Today, definitely leaning more into the fashion and style side because we have Patricia Franco in the building. She is an editorial wardrobe stylist. Welcome. You're here because you're Very Vogue, Patricia. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored. This is my first podcast, so
Your
I'm
first
excited.
one? Okay,
Yes.
let's go. I'm here for that. I love it. No, this is going to be quick and painless, I promise. How did you get into fashion to begin with? I want to start there.
I want to say it started at a very young age when I started appreciating or noticing clothes. I was in the
Yeah.
sixth grade and I started telling this story little by little because I think people know. So that's a good question. When I was in the sixth grade, I only had two dresser drawers to choose
Okay.
from of clothing, and I would always have to wear the same thing over and over again. And sometimes I would wear the same outfit 2 days in a row. And I saw that all my other classmates had different outfits every day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is that normal? I'm wearing the same thing. So I always thought when I'm older, I'm going to have all the fun clothes that I want. And then it led into fashion. It led into wanting different like looks, textiles, and just wanting to think outside the box when it came to certain outfits. So that's how I got into it. Um, I just made every day like a fun day for me to dress up for work,
Yes.
for meetings, for anything. I would just use that as a opportunity to express myself. So it depends on my mood on how I'm going to look that day. So I
Yeah.
just find it as a beautiful art, and yeah, it's very inspiring to me.
I say the same thing. I look at it as an art form because you're literally working with colors and prints and patterns and
Mhm.
you're putting things together, things that gel, maybe things that don't gel, but you just want to experiment with and have fun with it. That's the essence
Yeah.
of art itself. And I totally agree. I've always called fashion an art form. Absolutely. So
Yes.
you had two dressers at home, or you had two like drawers.
I had two
That
drawers, and I would always
okay.
be so like, "Ugh, I gotta choose something that again of the same thing.
Well, so did you come from a big family? Was it kind of
No,
crowded in there?
it's a small family. It's just my dad and my sister and I. So we lived in a tiny home and we
Mhm.
had a dresser drawer that we were sharing. So I had the bottom two, and I just remember always opening up that drawer and seeing the same particular outfit. And it was like, it
Mm,
reminds me of Scrubs. And I don't think about it. And I just would get sad because I wanted to express myself with my
mhm.
clothing. And that's when that's when it sparked interest in me. And so
Yeah.
ever since then, I love clothes. I love shoes. I love just everything about it. I feel like it's a good way for us to also build our confidence.
It
So yeah.
is. Yeah, it's a creative outlet in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
I gave you to follow on Instagram because I love what you do. I love the super, somewhat edgy but polished rock and roll vibe that I think
Thank
you've got
you.
going on. Like that's how I would describe it, but how would you describe it for anybody that hasn't seen you before?
Well, I love that you see me that way because I just never know. Because for me, it depends on, again, like, what am I feeling that day? My personal style is, well, let's see, how would I pick my wardrobe for the day? Again, it's all about mood, it's all about confidence and statement pieces. For instance, this collar piece
Yes,
with
yes.
just a cool little black vest. I like to be minimal, but then sometimes I like to be, the maximum of whatever that style is. So I would say I'm more inspired by like street fashion week, street style. It's
Mhm.
so appealing to me. That's when you could, just go a little bit outside of the box and still wear clothing that is an everyday outfit, but still
Mhm.
stand out. Like you're still packing a punch somehow. And it could be something as small as a white shirt or pink shirt. As long as it has something special about it, I'm all for it. I love embroideries and like embellishments. So
Yeah.
it depends on my mood. My style is what my mood is that day.
It's you. It's you. That's all
It
it
is
has to
me.
be.
I like having fun. I don't like putting myself in a box. I
No.
like experimenting like with certain things. Like when I go source like thrift shopping, I use that as an opportunity to have fun with something different that I normally wouldn't wear and see how I would style
Mm.
it and like just think and exercise my brain as to what's the next look for me.
Yeah, thrifting is blowing up right now, and I've
I
seen people
know.
thrift in different ways too. Some of them like to thrift or refurbish exclusively designer things. Some
Mhm.
don't care if it's a designer label or not. How do you like to thrift? Do you seek designer? Do you not seek designer? Does it
I
matter?
don't I don't seek designer. I seek quality. I seek material, textiles, color, anything that stands out to me. I like instantly pick out of the racks.
Mhm.
So I don't go in with looking for designers. Have found designers, which is a cool little touch, but I like
Yeah.
going for originality and things that normally I wouldn't grasp for. And every day I just like using that opportunity to be creative and pick out the most random, coolest pants that I don't think I'd ever wear. But then I'm like, I'm gonna wear it. I'm going to style this. So I look for different and original,
That's key.
definitely, when I go thrifting. And you have to be very patient because when you walk in, you could be overwhelmed seeing all the clothing. Like, where do I start? So that's another thing, which I love. It's therapeutic for me.
Yeah, take a look, see what's there. The hunt is fun.
No,
Particularly,
yes.
I don't know what it was. I don't know what it is, but every time I go, I'm like men's section. Men's section is where I will
Oh,
find
yes. That's my
the
favorite.
graphic. Yes, the graphic tees or just a basic black belt that looks really cool. Like there are gems there, and that is a
Yes.
secret that needs to be shared if
Yes,
you're shopping vintage.
absolutely. I've had so many friends of mine that didn't thrift, and if I wear a particular like jacket, they're like, "Where the heck did you get that?" Thrift store. It's just you can
Mhm.
find things there that stand out in its own way, and it just it takes you to the next level, I think, your look and your
Yeah.
confidence.
So streetwear inspires you. We touched on Paris Fashion Week a little bit, which is we're still getting some of that back now because it didn't happen too long ago.
Yeah.
In general, what inspires you when it comes to your style? Like, is it a particular person? Is it a particular movement? I mean, we've got the Marc Jacobs '90s revival thing going on. What's inspiring to you right now?
Everything is inspiring to me. I just recently went to the aquarium, and just going to the aquarium inspired me to like look at different, like the jellyfish. I'm going to use a jellyfish as an example because I
Yes.
posted about it because they're just so beautiful. They move so gently and with so much intention. And some of them have like little ruffles. So that inspires me to want to try something with more texture or more ruffles. So to me, anything inspires. I mean, name yourself shy, but yeah, that's where I get my inspiration. Nature, I'm open to it all. The aquarium recently, so I'm gonna give the jellyfish all the credit for this one.
Shout out to the
I know,
jellyfish.
so random. I just feel like that's like, I don't know, it's just so random. I was just standing there so mesmerized, like, they're so beautiful. Wow. And then I'm imagining outfits that would
Yes.
remind me of that. It's
Mhm.
just constantly styling in my head,
Yeah.
constantly, like 5 looks at a time, like, "Ooh, if we did this, if we did that." So that's where I find my inspiration, I guess everywhere and anywhere.
I mean, that proves it. I've never thought of jellyfish in that way, but
I
now I'm
know.
going to give them a whole new, a whole new set of eyes because apparently they're worth it. I mean,
They're beautiful.
they are. Well, relating to animals anyway. I love an animal print. I love how natural
Mhm.
that can be in the wild. I love how that can represent just natural state of being. I think
Yes.
and power or something powerful. I don't know when it comes to
Yes.
animal print. Like there's mood that comes with that. There's a lot of things that come with that, and I am absolutely all for it. Whenever you are thrifting and searching for things that you want to add to your closet, what in general are some of your shopping or thrifting tips?
My tips would be, again, be patient. It can be
Yeah,
overwhelming.
yeah,
It can be overwhelming. I always tell people to start with the bigger items. Like for me, it's easier to start at the jackets. It's
Mm,
more, it's a little more swiftly, like you can actually take your time on that and then move to shoes and then move to the tinier things like t-shirts. I think that could be a little more tedious. So I would say have patience, take your time, don't feel overwhelmed, and just use it as an opportunity of a hunt, because it is the thrill of the hunt. And you will
mhm,
find something fun, or something that is not out of the ordinary that you might want to try. So I would
mhm.
say patience and maybe a plan. Go to the jackets first and then work your way down.
No, I feel you. I have to do that too. It's like, no, I'm only looking for black belts today. Stop. That's all we need. Just look at
Yeah.
those. Don't look at the other graphic tees or band t-shirts in the corner. Do not stare at those, Val. And I
Yeah.
and then, $50 later. Oh, how did I get 10
Yeah.
more 10 band shirts get into that closet that I didn't have before? What? That package had showed up? No. How
Or
did
even if
it
it's your
get
first
there?
time, just
Yeah.
scan. Do a quick
Yeah.
little scanning through. If I'm like in a rush, I scan and see what stands out. And usually it's colors and like
Yes.
certain fabrics. So
Yeah. Do you
yeah.
like to work with a particular color palette? Because I have found that that maybe helps me streamline what I'm looking for and what I actually want in my closet. So I'm more, at least intentional about my choices, like
Yes.
blacks, animal prints, or neutrals, whites, and orange. Or rust orange, or just variations of orange.
Yeah.
Those are like my favorite things, and I tend to stick with that. And I kind of had it set in my mind that as long as I'm sticking with that, I'm a little bit more intentional with my buying.
Hmm.
Does that make sense? Do you subscribe to something different when you're making a purchasing decision?
Um, for my color palette, is my personal is very black, white, and neutrals, because I feel like I
Yeah.
can work with that palette. My favorite thing, of course, is black and white, because I can mix prints with black and white and it won't
Yes.
clash. It's so welcoming to other colors and other prints. And like people might look at it like, oh my gosh, I would have never thought about that. And anything
Mhm.
black and white printed, I'm all for it. Um, for myself, it's very simple: black, white, and neutrals, because I love to work with jackets, the third
Mm,
layering piece that could be my statement, like you said, the animal print, or my shoes, or my jewelry. That's where I want to focus my attention to personally. But when I go thrifting, I love the black section, and I know that it's just, I know it can look like just one big of nothing, but just to go through every single piece and to see like the different, like there's sheer organza, there is
mhm.
beautiful cottons and linens. Like, yes, it's all the same color, but it's all different. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I love working with neutral colors and then working my way up from there. I'll start like dipping into prints.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. It makes sense because it's your
Mhm.
foundation. I completely get
Yeah.
it. You're not
Yeah.
opposed to going live with closet sales and, cleaning out your closet as well, which some of us are better at than others. I can, maybe learn a thing or two about that. But it's hard to let go of things sometimes, and it's hard to get the gumption and the courage to say, all right, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to either do a closet sale or
Oh,
I'm going to donate it, whatever it is that you want to do. How do you decide what you want to let go of? How do you become at peace with that if you struggle
well,
with it?
it's hard, but I am partnered with a great network and I curate for them and for my brand.
Mm,
Um, and so everything I source for these curations and these collections, I want to wear and I want to keep. And I think that's what
yeah.
for me, that's a good sign that I believe in what I'm putting out there. And I
Mm.
love to show inspirational styling with those pieces. But let me tell you, it is so hard to part
Yes.
with some of those pieces, because I'm like, oh my gosh, the ways I can wear this leather cape that I was obsessed with from my last collection. I'm like, the ways I can wear this leather cape and I could do this with that. But for me, I rather have my clients wear those cool pieces and like have them feel like empowered or good about having an awesome vintage piece in their closet,
Mm.
that than me keeping it. I don't really have attachments to things that much, or I try not to have attachments to it.
Yeah.
But as far as for myself, I just keep my shoes and my rings, you know, this just my little accessories. But I
Yeah.
rather see my clients in these pieces happy and rocking the heck out of it and
Mhm.
seeing how they would style it. So it's
Okay. See,
easy for me.
I was wondering about that because I love asking stylists this question. Like, is there a difference or is there a challenge at all in styling somebody else? I mean, you know what works for you, you know what you
Mhm,
love, but
mhm.
now you have to make somebody else happy. How
Yes.
how is that a challenge? How does that work for you?
I base it off of what I mean, honestly, I stay true to me. I stay true to what I like and my brand. I stay true to what I feel like my clients will like. The more I'm showcasing in this at this network, the more I get to know them, the clients or the
Okay.
different crowds, and I just kind of pick up on what they like, and I use that and meet them in the middle. Like I have, you know, I just want to make sure that has my touch to it, but it's still modern pieces. I love vintage that are still modern, fresh, and still look new and timeless.
Mhm.
So it's not hard for me. I feel like as long as you stay true to your aesthetic and you show people like inspirational clips or how to style them, like I've been doing the runway previews. I
Mhm.
think that will get them excited, like, oh my gosh, that's a cool jacket or those are cool pants. So I I don't yeah, I don't think it's difficult. I mean, not no. I don't know what to say. I was like, what? As long as it just stays true to my brand aesthetic, I feel like that's
Yeah.
where I can just go
Yeah.
with the flow.
Well, I would
And
imagine that
so
some
far
of
it's been
them,
received well.
right. And I would imagine that some of them are coming to you because they're already into what they've seen
Yeah.
online or
Hmm.
what they know that you have a reputation for. They love getting to know you on social media. I love it. And I love getting to know Kane on social media. Can we talk about
Oh my
Kane?
God,
Because he
Kane.
is adorable. I will talk about dogs all day. Tell me
Oh
about
my
Kane.
gosh. Well, I'm a huge shelter dog advocate. I'm all about adopting. Kane is, I'm a mom of 4 dogs.
Oh, four.
Sunny,
Okay.
yes, Sunny, Uno, Hazel, and Kane. So Kane is my first big dog. And I always thought I'm a small dog mom, but as soon as I got Kane, I blown away. I love him so much. I got him from Mendocino up in Fort Bragg. I drove what's 5 to 6 hours to go adopt him.
Oh.
He was at the shelter for about almost a year, and
Mm.
I instantly fell in love with him. So we see him more because I take him everywhere with me, and
Yeah.
he's the baby. Everybody else, all my other puppies are seniors. They're retired. They don't want anything to do with
Yeah.
dog parks and
They're like, been there, done that.
socializing.
Yeah, they're like, Girl, I do not have time for this."
Yeah, they're just like, no, we don't. We want to just rest and sleep. So Kane
Yeah.
is my let's go to the dog park, run errands, we go for walks, and it's just
Oh,
he is my soul dog. My sister says he is your soulmate, like in the big dog department, you know. And I want more. I want more big dogs. They're so fun, so fun, and the best cuddling size too.
oh, no, I believe in that though. I believe that animals choose us. I do think
Yeah.
that there is something, I've like heard that before. I think there is something to that. I think that's why my cat gravitated
Yes.
to us. Although she tends to favor my husband over me. Like we chose her, but she favors him over me, and I'm the one that wanted her in this apartment, and she could not care less. She wants to sleep. She wants to sleep with him at night. She cries for him when he gets home from work. I'm like, really, ma'am, ma'am,
Oh my
I'm the
gosh,
one
that
that,
happens.
yeah, I'm like, I'm the one that wanted you here. You would not be sheltered if it weren't for me saying, "Can we get a cat?" Like, but no.
I know. Only if they knew, right?
Yeah, at least only if they knew.
Only if they knew. Only.
Well, so what's next for you? What can we look forward to? What can we get excited about?
Oh my gosh. So I have another show coming up on the 11th with the network that I'm partnered with. They're a Covet by Christos, and I love them. They're amazing, amazing team to work with. So I have a show coming up with them on February. I'm collecting for that. I so far have amazing pieces. Um, And I've been reaching out to graphic designers for website. I feel like I want to bring up back the old school blog post again, or I don't know
It's
if
coming
I don't
back.
know. Yeah, I don't know
Yes.
if it's gone or not, but I'm like, I
No.
want to journal and use that as an opportunity to like style my pieces, my personal pieces
Mhm.
with a blog post or help how to style a certain piece. So
Mhm.
I'm thinking of that as well. And maybe a couple more dogs.
Always more dogs. Always more
Yes,
dogs.
adopt.
No, I love that. Tumblr vibes are coming back. I do feel that because I've had a blog since 2018, I want to say,
Mhm.
and now it kind of switched to, well, it's essentially my website that like everything sort of
Yeah.
springs off of. But the blogging and the personal thoughts, that needs to come back. That's our in. That's one of the
Yes.
ins for 2024. I'm
Yeah,
here
I
for
love it. Yeah, we have our Instagram,
it.
but I feel like something is more personal about the blog, and I want to get more personal with the audience
Yeah,
versus just here's this outfit and here's how we can style it. I
yeah,
feel like adding a personal touch and your personality does get the message through, and people either they get it or they
right.
don't, but at least you're being true to who you are. And why not write it and take pictures and like showcase it in a different way other
Period.
than, yeah.
Period. And you can
Period.
period. Like you can write more, literally, you can write more too than you could
Yeah.
in an Instagram caption or on Threads or something. I don't even use X anymore or Twitter or whatever it is today, this
Yeah.
hour,
What
this
is,
day of the
I don't
week.
even know. I don't have that.
I don't but you can literally, that's the beauty with blogs. You can literally write more and I enjoy that. Just to clarify,
Yeah.
you were saying your shows, runway shows, like you're literally styling models or for these runway shows, or do I have
Well,
that wrong?
I have this thing that I started when I preview for the collections that I source
Mhm.
for my partnership. So what I meant by that is like I pretend that I'm on the on the runway. So that's
Yes.
how I preview the pieces. So if you go to my page, you'll see that's how I preview the pieces. So to get, the audience excited of what they're gonna see during the show.
Mhm.
And but I did style models back in, oh my gosh, it's been a couple of years. I used to do a lot of editorial photo shoots back in Virginia, and that was the most fun I've ever had. And
Mhm.
that was another challenge in the best way for myself because I would always want to make my own accessories because I couldn't really find certain things that I wanted to and like to just
Oh,
make my point across or just tell a story in the published editorials that we would do. So that we did. I have done 2 runways before. Um, but right now it's my own runway with my previews.
that's
So
okay. That's okay. That's the energy we're here for. Would you go back to editorial if you had a chance?
Yeah, I would definitely go back to editorial. I love um, photography and editorial work because I feel versus commercial because it's just again, it's the opportunity of being creative
Mm.
and showcasing a story. Like I usually have a story in my mind or my head, and I'm like, okay, I want to showcase it through
Mhm.
clothing, accessories with a model, down to lighting, down to props, even. So absolutely, I would definitely do that again.
Yeah, I would love to see you as a designer, like literally putting together like a
I
full blown show too. I would be here
that
for that.
yes, that's actually on the list as well, like doing some special designs and doing a small little capsule of a little something.
Ooh, yes, can't wait to see it all. Patricia, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your time, for all the nuggets of wisdom. We can't wait to see what's next. Thank
Thank you
you.
so, so much for having me.